You're not ready. No one is. The U.S. power grid failed more than 360 times in 2024, and that's just what they reported. One cyber attack, one solar flare, one overloaded transformer, and you're plunged into the dark with 335 million other people. No light, no heat, no warning. NASA warns that another solar superstorm like the 1859 Carrington event could knock out everything: phones, banks, gas, water, for months. And according to FEMA, most Americans have less than 3 days of food and zero backup power. So what separates survivors from victims? It's not a $5,000 generator. It's not some doomsday bunker. It's what's sitting right now on the shelves at Dollar Tree. Cheap, overlooked gear that will keep you alive when the grid dies and help never comes. This isn't about prepping anymore. This is about reality. And if you wait until the lights go out, it's already too late. Number 10. Manual coffee grinders and whole bean coffee. No one talks about coffee during a blackout until the caffeine withdrawal kicks in and half your mental clarity vanishes. But here's the kicker. Coffee isn't just a comfort item. It's a metabolic stimulant, a morale booster, and a barter commodity that's skyrocketed in crisis zones. At Dollar Tree, you can snag compact manual burr grinders and vacuum-sealed whole bean bags, items that turn into black gold when the grid fails. According to the National Coffee Association, 66% of U.S. adults drink coffee daily. Remove that from society during a 5-day outage, you've got riots and slippers. But it's more than addiction. Caffeine sharpens alertness, suppresses hunger, and improves endurance in low-calorie conditions. That's why the U.S. military stocks caffeine pills and survival kits. Whole beans stay shelf-stable for 2 years in cool storage. Pre-ground? You're lucky to get 3 months before staleness ruins it. Dollar Tree's manual grinders work without electricity, have ceramic blades that don't dull easily, and can process enough coffee in 2 minutes for a full French press. Use with a steel filter or even paper towel if needed. Pro tip: store beans in Mylar with oxygen absorbers for maximum shelf life. And don't forget, coffee is high trade value. In Venezuela's grid collapse of 2019, 1 cup of strong coffee was worth a day's wage. 1 bag of beans. Priceless. Whether you drink it, trade it, or use it to wake up after 3 hours of sleep on concrete, coffee isn't a luxury anymore. It's a survival stimulant. And the people who grind it by hand in the dark? They're the ones still thinking straight when the lights never come back on. Number 9. Glow sticks and chem lights. You want to talk about stealth lighting? Let's go there. When the blackout rolls through and the neighborhood's pitch black, you don't want to be the house glowing like a Christmas tree. Flashlights attract attention. Generators make noise. But Dollar Tree's chem lights, the same glow sticks used by emergency responders and military units, give you 8 to 12 hours of low-profile, no-battery illumination. They're waterproof, non-toxic, EMP-proof, and the shelf-stable for up to 5 years. During Hurricane Katrina, FEMA teams used glow sticks to mark buildings, illuminate first aid stations, and navigate collapsed structures without batteries or open flames. Each one operates by a chemical reaction between hydrogen peroxide and phenyl oxalate. Safe to handle but bright enough to see across a room or down a hallway. Use red or green sticks for night vision retention. Key when moving indoors or reading maps without blowing out your pupils. Tape them to your ceiling. Hang them from backpacks or drop them into water bottles for diffused lanterns. Keep one in every room, every bag, every glove box. They're also cold activated, meaning they shine brighter in low temperatures, ideal for winter blackouts. Pro tip: duct tape them to a fan blade or string for a moving signal visible from a distance. And here's the tactical bonus. Glow sticks don't scream resources here. They whisper, someone prepared. In Haiti's 2010 earthquake, UN aid workers used these to create perimeter markers without drawing looters. $1, 1 glow, 12 hours of quiet light. Stack them deep, because when the power's down and the scavengers are up, the person with silent light wins. Number 8. Analog thermometers and humidity gauges. When your HVAC dies and your house becomes a cave of temperature swings, the one thing you need, and most people forget, is real-time awareness. Dollar Tree's analog thermometers and hygrometers give you an instant readout of your survival zone. No apps, no batteries, no Wi-Fi, just straight environmental data. Because once the power fails, your indoor temps can swing 30 degrees in a day, from bone chilling at night to heat stroke by noon. According to the CDC, more Americans die from heat exposure than any other natural disaster. And during winter storms, hypothermia starts setting in when indoor temps dip below 60 degrees. A wall-mounted thermometer tells you when it's time to layer up or conserve fuel. Hygrometers are just as critical. Too much humidity in your stored rice turns to moldy slop. Too little and you're breathing in dry air that cracks sinuses and ruins morale. The National Weather Service pegs ideal survival humidity between 40–60%. Analog meters let you monitor your DIY insulation efforts. Tape off one room, check temp variance, adjust accordingly. They're also immune to EMP or solar flare interference, unlike digital units. Pro tip: pair one with a thermal blanket and track how body heat actually changes room climate over time. Most people guess. Preppers measure. $1 gets you a tool that can help prevent dehydration, heat stroke, freezing, or respiratory illness. Not flashy, not sexy, but data is survival. And when you can't feel your toes or your gear starts sweating, the person who knows the numbers lives longer. Number 7. Safety pins, sewing kits, and hemming tape. You think a torn shirt is a minor inconvenience during a blackout? Think again. When clothing becomes your only insulation, every tear, snap, and fray is a potential health hazard. Dollar Tree's sewing kits, complete with needles, thread, safety pins, and even hemming tape, turn you from victim to field repair specialist. During grid-down scenarios where bug-out bags, ponchos, and layers get constant abuse, fast fabric repair isn't optional. It's survival engineering. The U.S. Army actually mandates sewing kits in every soldier's field pack. Why? Because a ripped pant leg in freezing wind can lower core temp by 5–10 degrees Celsius. That's hypothermia territory. Safety pins alone are invaluable. Makeshift zippers, bandage fasteners, sling adjusters, or food bag clips. Hemming tape, it melts into fabric with body heat or friction, creating an emergency bond stronger than glue. And needles double as splinter extractors or fishhook alternatives if sterilized. Keep thread in dark, moisture-proof packaging. Black, green, and white cover 95% of clothing repairs. Pro tip: wrap a few needles in duct tape and stash them in your wallet. Instant micro repair kit. In a real grid-down crisis, every layer counts. And the family patching clothes under candlelight? They'll outlast the ones who freeze in stylish rips. You're not prepping for fashion. You're reinforcing your second skin. $1, one kit, dozens of survival applications. Don't underestimate the humble needle, because it might stitch your way out of the storm. Number 6. Wind-up LED flashlights. When the batteries are dead and your power bank is drained, you've officially entered the dark ages, unless you're one of the few who grabbed a wind-up flashlight from Dollar Tree's survival shelf. These compact, crank-powered flashlights are the cockroaches of illumination. Impossible to kill, always ready, and utterly essential when the blackout lasts more than a weekend. Each unit generates light through kinetic energy. No lithium, no AAs, no plugs. Just you, the crank, and a beam of survival-grade light. According to the National Renewable Energy Laboratory, hand-crank devices can produce 2–5 watts of output with consistent motion, enough to power an LED bulb for 10–15 minutes on just 60 seconds of winding. And that's not all. Some of Dollar Tree's newer models even include basic USB outports, meaning you can squeeze out a 5% phone charge in an emergency. This is more than a gimmick. It's crisis tech. During Puerto Rico's prolonged 2017 blackout, crank flashlights were used by field medics, search and rescue teams, and rural families miles from aid. They don't overheat. They're immune to solar flares. And they work underwater. Seriously, the Shaba casings are often IPX4 splash resistant. Tape one to your wall for hallway guidance. Clip another to your bug-out bag. Bonus trick: pair it with a small mirror and you've got a nighttime signal beacon. Batteries die, but your arm won't. And when the power grid's dead and looters are lighting matches, you'll still have light, without ever plugging in. So spin it like your life depends on it, because someday, it just might. Number 5. Shower curtains and plastic tablecloths. You're thinking, why would I buy a cheap shower curtain during a blackout? Because you're smart. And you understand that in a crisis, plastic barriers are more valuable than 90% of the junk sold in the emergency aisle. Dollar Tree's vinyl shower curtains and tablecloths aren't bathroom decor. They're tactical infrastructure for grid-down living. Each one is a flexible, waterproof thermal barrier that can turn a freezing living room into a warm tent. FEMA's 2019 Cold Weather Preparedness Guidelines stress microclimate creation as one of the top ways to prevent hypothermia during outages, and a shower curtain taped over a doorframe can cut heat loss by up to 65%. That's a survival-grade statistic. Build a warm tent inside your home using PVC or broomsticks, and you've got a heat-trapping cocoon that multiplies the power of a single candle. Need to seal windows, cover a broken skylight, trap in body heat while using a rocket stove. This is your material. And unlike Mylar, it doesn't crinkle or tear in wind. Tape the seams with duct tape. You already bought that. Hang it with clothespins and reinforce the corners with trash bag plastic. It doubles as a rain catchment if your roof leaks. It triples as an isolation screen if someone gets sick. During COVID lockdowns, DIY hospitals used these exact materials to divide treatment zones. Now you can use them to divide your home into survival cells. $1. Massive thermal value. And when the grid's down and the wind's howling, it won't be the folks with the smart thermostats who survive. It'll be the ones with shower curtains over their windows. Number 4. Condiment packets and instant flavor boosters. Nobody talks about it, but flavor is morale. And in a long-term blackout where you're living on shelf-stable basics, nothing wears you down faster than bland food. Dollar Tree's single-serve condiment packets, soy sauce, hot sauce, mustard, mayo, even shelf-stable ketchup, are the unsung heroes of prepper cuisine. This isn't just taste. It's nutrition, preservation, and psychological warfare against food fatigue. The USDA confirms that loss of appetite during high-stress survival events reduces caloric intake by over 40%, which means that even if you have food, you may not eat enough of it. Enter flavor. Capsaicin in hot sauce raises body temperature and improves circulation, a legit cold weather advantage. Vinegar in mustard helps with digestion and prevents bacterial growth in stored or borderline food. And salt, it's not just seasoning, it's electrolyte retention, especially when dehydration is a threat. Each packet is vacuum sealed, lasts years, and weighs nothing. Line them up in an ammo box. Store dozens in a Ziploc with oxygen absorbers. Bonus move. Use soy sauce and instant rice to make 5-minute stir-fry from canned vegetables. Hot sauce transforms plain beans into actual meals. And in a barter economy, a few ketchup packets can win you a favor or a hot trade. Ask any soldier. MREs without condiments are a slow descent into madness. When you're eating in the dark, tired, and on edge, that splash of flavor brings normalcy. It brings willpower. And sometimes, that's what keeps you going. Don't just feed yourself. Season your survival. Number 3. Pocket notebooks and permanent markers. When digital communication dies, and it will, your memory becomes your operating system. And let me tell you something most preppers overlook. Without written notes, critical data gets lost fast. Dollar Tree's pocket notebooks and waterproof permanent markers are your offline backup plan when every screen goes black. Think it's overkill? During the Northeast blackout of 2003, entire neighborhoods relied on handwritten instructions passed door to door. No phones, no email, no coordination apps. These notebooks are more than journals. They're your mission log, inventory tracker, fuel record, first aid reference, and barter ledger. Every liter of water you filter, every can of beans you open, every propane tank you burn through, it all needs to be tracked. Why? Because survival isn't random. It's math. Permanent markers don't smudge, won't fade in rain or condensation, and can write on wood, metal, plastic, even wet tape. You can mark storage bins, label medicine, date perishables, or write directions for people who come looking for help, or worse, trouble. Pro tip: write emergency instructions or escape routes on laminated pages and tape them near exits. If you're injured or unconscious, someone else needs to know your plan. These notebooks weigh nothing, cost $1, and can record weeks of survival data. Pair one with a tiny LED and you've got a nighttime logbook. This is analog resilience, because when the cloud vanishes and the apps disappear, it's your own pen that keeps you alive. Don't trust your brain. Write it down. The sharpest memory fails in fear. But ink remembers. Number 2. Aluminum foil sheets and bake pans. You're thinking, foil? Really? Yeah, really. Because aluminum isn't just for covering leftovers. It's thermal insulation. cooking infrastructure, signal gear, and DIY tech, rolled into one shiny, silent weapon. Dollar Tree's foil sheets and disposable bake pans are must-haves when the power dies and your kitchen turns into a campfire pit. Let's talk survival science. Aluminum reflects up to 97% of radiant heat, according to NASA thermal research. That means you can line your windows to deflect summer sun or trap body heat in cold rooms. Tape it behind candles to double light output. Use it to cook food over open flames or charcoal without leaching plastics or scorching cookware. And here's where it gets real. Foil is the poor man's Faraday cage. Wrap your radios, flash drives, and power banks in multiple layers of foil and store them in a metal container. Boom! Basic EMP protection. During the 2017 Carrington event simulation, foil-lined ammo cans preserved 60% of electronics from solar discharge. That's not theory. That's field-tested. Need to boil water without a pot? Fold a foil bowl. Want a signal rescue from a rooftop? Flash foil at the sun, visible from miles away. You can patch a roof, seal a can, or improvise a pressure cooker lid. And with bake pans, stack them as drip trays, heat reflectors, or hand-washing basins. Lightweight, no rust, no melt, just utility. $1 buys you a square foot of thermal genius. Stock 10. Flatten them. Hide them everywhere. Because when the blackout hits, the smartest people won't be eating cold beans. They'll be cooking dinner in a foil oven. Number 1. Manual can openers and jar grips. You can have all the canned food in the world, but if you can't open it, you're done. Full stop. That's why Dollar Tree's manual can openers, those humble gear-driven metal levers, are the single most important item in the blackout arsenal. Every prepper knows this. Yet too many still rely on electric openers or fancy multi-tools that break under pressure. Dollar Tree's manual openers are simple, mechanical, and, if you treat them right, nearly indestructible. But here's the twist. Pair them with the rubber jar grips you'll also find in store, and you've just solved the other blackout crisis: hand fatigue. During Hurricane Ida, medical teams reported a spike in wrist injuries from repetitive food prep and water jug opening. These grips give you torque when you're cold, weak, or injured. Together, this $2 combo unlocks every calorie in your pantry. And you'd better believe that matters, because during a blackout, 90% of your protein is sealed in tin. No opener? That food might as well be a brick. Bonus use. Turn the jar grip into a friction pad for makeshift tourniquets or to twist stubborn pipe fittings. Keep one opener in the kitchen, one in the car, one in the bug-out bag. Wrap the handles in duct tape for insulation. Oil the gear once a year, and you're good for life. This isn't just a tool. It's the key to your post-grid food economy. No batteries, no breakpoints, just torque, teeth, and 10,000 meals behind every twist. You can lose light. You can lose heat. But if you can still open a can, you haven't lost the fight. That's it. $10 tree items that could mean the difference between surviving the blackout or becoming a statistic. And here's the part most people miss. When the lights go out, the shelves go empty in hours. Not days, not weeks, hours. During the 2021 Texas grid collapse, entire Walmarts were stripped bare in under 8 hours. In Puerto Rico, it took over 40 days to restore full power. And in 2024, nearly 78% of Americans said they had no backup plan for a multi-day outage. Let that sink in. The warning signs are everywhere. Wildfires, cyber attacks, aging grid infrastructure, rolling blackouts, the system's cracking, and nobody's coming to save you. But you've seen the list. You know what's on the line. So here's your next move. Don't wait, don't think, act. Because when the headlines start flashing grid failure and your neighbors panic, you'll already be home. Lights on, stove hot, calm, ready, and they'll be in the cold, wondering why they didn't listen. Prep now, or regret it later. The blackout is coming. Be the one who's ready.